Hey guys, GNT here, and today I'm gonna do something that I don't know, I just thought of like 5 seconds ago after making the other video that's going up. I'm gonna call it R Retro Rush Reviews, only because I can't think of any other title to put up for retro that hasn't been taken. I hope this isn't taken. Anywho, the first one's gonna be Mega Man Zero, because it's the most recent retro game that I've completed on my other channel. And oh goodness, Mega Man Zero. Also, the reason why it's a Retro Rush review is because it's going to be really fast. I'm not going to take too long with these reviews. I'm just going to get straight into it and get right back out. Anywho, with Mega Man Zero for the Game Boy Advance originally, and re-released in the Legacy Collection, which is the version that I am talking about right now. It is, I would like to say, a wonderful game, but there are a few hiccups. There's a couple of things that hold it back just a little bit. But as far as the way it goes, because it is technically like a sequel to the X series, so as far as that goes, it is great. It has the extra leaps necessary to hop off past the original X series, because after like, I don't know, X5, I guess, the X series kind of just was not as fun as it used to be. But Zero takes the X formula, and I would say it kicks it up a notch, but it doesn't. It actually dials it back a little bit. And here's the thing, because with the X games, you do have X in the game, you know? And sometimes you get to play as Zero as well. You know, in the later games, all the time you get to play with Zero. But the point is, when you're just given the option of Zero, it cuts out a lot of the extra content that an X game would have. Which, you know, this isn't an X game, it's Zero's game. But still, my point is that in X, you have X, who gets all the different Robot Master's abilities and all this junk. But when you have Zero, Zero has his saber, and he has a gun. I don't know what the gun is called, so I'm not gonna say anything about the gun, but it sucks. That's all I have to say about the gun. It sucks. It's trash. Now, the reason why it's trash is because the saber is so good. Like in this game, I finally understood, you know, I finally felt like the Zero that you see in X1 when you're being manhandled with electricity and junk. And Zero slides in. But the thing is, that was done with the dang with the Z Buster, I think it was called on Zero, whatever. Flip his cannon. He shoots. He doesn't slash when he comes in. So that's a little bit weird to mention when I'm talking about the Z Saber. Ignore what I just said. Ignore all that. I think at the end he comes in with a slash, right? Or does he just self-destruct? Anywho, ignore everything I said. The point is, it made me feel powerful, because that Z Saber does a ton of damage in this game. And I don't necessarily mean damages in the amount of health it takes, but I mean damages in how great it deals with things. Like, certain stuff can just be sliced. Certain enemies' attacks can be sliced. Certain enemies go down in one slice, you know? It's just an amazing thing in that game. And that's because you're just Zero. It doesn't have to be balanced out with X, you know? So, you can do some wild stuff. And the saber upgrades as you're using it, as do the other weapons that you receive, which are like a spear, and a spear that extends and does extra hits. I think it's up to 4 times. And then there's flip, I don't know what to call it. It's like a little disc type of thing. It's you can use it as a shield, or you can throw it. I cannot remember what it's called, but it's a thing. I didn't use it. Like, it's good for when you're going through stages and enemies are shooting at you and stuff, because it bounces back bullets and all that. But I couldn't find a real good use for it for like bosses or anything, because for the bosses, for the most part, my Z Saber is all I used on bosses, because you could charge it up, and that charge hit was good. And also, when you had elements, because there are elements to put on your sword, when you hit them with those, You can do tons of damage on bosses, so there's not much reason to use anything besides the sword, which kinda sucks, but it's whatever. The sword's dope, and there's like almost no reason for you to care about the other weapons. And I haven't played 2 yet. I'm gonna get to 2. So I'm hoping that when I do play 2, there will be more opportunities and reasons to use extra weapons. But in this first game, it is Z-Saber all the way. There's no reason to get any other weapon. There's no reason to use any other weapon besides a couple of parts in a stage where you have to hit something that's far off to get it to fall down so you can jump across. That's the only time to use the gun. Other than that, all saber all the time, and that will save your life. That's the key to this game. Now here we go. Boss design was kind of weak. Like, all the boss design in this game felt like some stuff I've seen before in other Mega Man games. Besides, well, no, the 4 generals, they were kind of like different versions of X, which is a cool style. It's a cool design choice for those bosses because they're X's underlings, because X is the villain in this game. It's not really a spoiler, they kind of say it at the beginning, but the point is that they have similar designs to X, so they look really cool. Although they don't look very new, they just look like some forms of X, but they do look cool. So as far as the art style and character design, it's pretty dope, especially for the time that it came out, because it's not a new game. Everything looks good, it's all functional, and besides a couple of little hiccups here and there, the game is a joy to run through. Shouldn't take much time at all. It just took me a while because I was playing it for the channel and not just playing it leisurely, so it is what it is. Anywho, that does it for all I want to talk about with this game. I would give it a solid 4 out of 5. Only reason why it doesn't get a 5 is because 3 of the weapons don't really have much of a point of existing, You could play this whole game with Zero with just the Z-Saber once you get it, and that's it. So that knocks off a point. Other than that, we got a 4 out of 5 game here. If you have not played the original Mega Man Zero, you should. Legacy Collection is out. Didn't cost that much, and you get a nice stack of games in the collection. Alright, so that's gonna do it for this one. I will see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know exactly what you think about it in the comments below. By the way, I didn't use Mega Man Zero music for this. I'm using Mega Man 11's music because they had this instrumental version of their songs, and it's so wonderful. You don't understand until you've actually sat and listened to it. Oh my goodness. So anywho, it should be like Fuse Man's track if I remember to put it there, because this might be irrelevant. I might use something else. Anywho, I'm out of here. See you guys next time. Peace out and have a great day.